It's time for the Scott Buening Show. Learn all about Southridge Raider football. This week's show is sponsored by Milligan Communications, Street Dreams, and the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Grosvenor Communications. Go Raiders!
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
Hello and welcome to this week's Scott Buening Show. And Coach, last week you took on the Forest Park Rangers at Ferdinand. Why don't you recap that game for us?
Yeah, got off to a little bit of a slow start in the game. Forest Park did a good job with field position, and it took us a little bit to find some rhythm offensively. I thought they did a good job of making our run game difficult, and but we were able to get our passing game going, and we were able to hit a couple big plays in the passing game that I think helped loosen things up a little bit, and ultimately, just put a solid performance together, and we're able to get the win.
And looking at your stats, I mean, other than Levi Nycom and Reed Schrader, they're all underclassmen.
We do have a nice mix of juniors and seniors, and I think those are two classes that I think supplement each other very well. We've got more depth than I think we've typically had throughout, in most years. And you can also throw Noah Wright in there as a sophomore, and Noah Owens, and we've got a couple other guys in that sophomore group that have been rotating in, and so we've got a nice mix of some senior leadership, but also in the juniors, a lot of them who are playing this year played quite a bit as sophomores, and so we've got a nice mix of depth, and and just some classes that have supplemented each other very well, and and up to this point have done a good job.
And not only did you beat a county rival, you also won the small school PAC.
Yeah, that's always a goal. For the regular season, you want to win. We set a goal we do want to win the PAC championship. The way that the conference is set up in football, it's a little bit different because you don't have the ability to play everybody. There's not enough regular season games. I do like our schedule, and that even though the PAC the football part of it got split up a little bit, we're still able to play Heritage Hills, Gibson Southern, and then Louisville was added in on that schedule as well, which that's really been good for us, in regards to continuing to play. Number one, a lot of PAC rivals. I think that's been important with in the small school division. It's kept a lot of our old PAC opponents together, and I think that's been a positive. And then also, being able to schedule, like I said, Gibson Southern, Boonville, and Heritage Hills in the, I guess, quote unquote, non-conference portion of it. So, yes, we're glad, happy to finish off that part of the season, and looking forward to the tournament now.
And, whether it's the big school PAC or small school PAC, both divisions are pretty loaded.
Yeah, you look at football, especially you talk most schools, especially when you're talking smaller schools, and what I mean by that is your 1A to 3A, and really at any level, things are cyclical. I believe when you look at a conference, you're looking at schools that logistically are similar. There's going to be schools you're going to have runs of years where certain schools and certain sports are going to do well, but it's always cyclical. And I think you look at the way that our conference is set up, and you see a lot of balance through the sports. It's so far I think it's been a positive thing, and I look forward to that continuing.
And we're back on the Scott Buening Show right after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to Southwest Media and Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosper Communications.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
This is the most important, amazingest game ever played in the universe. The pitcher is fierce. Danny Roberts is up at bat. And the crowd goes wild. He just won the game. Let's go! Yes!
We protect the car you drive.
Go get him, Danny.
And the dreams that drive you. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
When you think sporting goods, think no further than All Star Sports in Ferdinand. Custom embroidery, screen printing, team uniforms, sports equipment, and sports apparel and shoes. We have it all. Give Brad a call today at 812-367-1618 or visit them in the Country Plaza Shopping Center in Ferdinand. All Star Sports is open Monday through Friday 10 to 7 and Saturday 9 to 4. All Star Sports, when you're thinking sporting goods.
And welcome back to the Scott Buening Show, and we're joined by DC Broadcasting Sports Director Kurt Guxell. Section 32, we've got Scottsburg versus Corridon Central, we've got Harrison versus Southridge, we've got Madison versus Heritage Hills, and we've got Charleston versus Salem. And I'll tell you what, the thing that impresses me about Southridge is I was texting with Ross Moose the other day, and I actually told him that, and I'll tell you this, I said, a Hall of Fame coach and a future Hall of Fame coach on defense there.
Yeah, they've been great defensively. They have attacked the other team's offense. They've not let the other teams dictate what they're going to do. And they've got a very good defensive line. Their linebacking core has been outstanding, and you get some guys up front that can play, and also some linebackers can play. It frees you up your secondary to play more man coverage with the athletes that they got, and it's been a really good defensive year for Southridge. So that's their big thing, and they've been able to shut down most teams because of that defense.
You're listening to the Scott Buening Show on the Southwest Indian Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosper Communications. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
And welcome back on the Scott Buening Show. And Coach, this week you get to play the first round sectional game against North Harrison. They were a 21-14 winner last week over Providence. Why don't you preview that game for us?
Yeah, North Harrison 7-2 on the season. Their only two losses come to two very good teams, which was Charlestown and Brownstown Central. And they're a team that we've actually, this will be the fourth time we've played them just through the tournament, and I think that's out of 6 years that we've had an opportunity to play them. So we seem to run into them quite a bit. They're a big, strong, physical team. Coach Williamson's their head coach, and he was at Castle in the 90s. He was their defensive coordinator when they won the state championship, and he just a tough, hard-nosed, physical style of football, both offensively and defensively. Every year we play those guys, they've got monsters. They're huge. They're all their linemen are typically, anywhere from we've seen guys from 250 to 350 pounds against these guys. They've got big backs. Like I said, they're strong. They're physical. They really come downhill at you, and then they play really good defense. And and this year's team is no exception. What we've seen this year, a little bit different than the past, is they do have a receiver, a very athletic receiver who he's a 6'5" kid, and he poses a lot of challenges for us that typically we've not seen that from them in the past. And so we've got to be able to defend him as well as defend the power running game, and then also try to figure out a way to score some points against them. So like I said, should be a really good football game Friday.
And looking at the sectional, I mean, if when you win the sectional, let me say when, I come to realize after looking at the brackets that you won't be playing a PAC team in the first round of the regional, and because there's 6 teams in the other sectional from the PAC, but none of them will be. They're when one of them wins regional, I'll be heading up north.
Yeah, it is a little bit of an oddity this year. We got teams not that far down the road from us who who are in our conference, and then but in our sectional, we've got teams that are 2.5 hours away. But I'll be honest, I like that. I like the opportunity to go out and play some different schools. We PAC schools, and a lot of us have been in the same sectional. You see each other once, twice every year, and it's nice to play some different teams and different opponents. And when you look at our sectional, I think I think us, Heritage Hills, North Harrison, Charlestown, those are 4 pretty good football teams that I think all feel like they've got a good chance to advance. And then the regional, I think Lawrenceburg is whoever comes out of our sectional, the regional, Lawrenceburg is pretty, I don't know, heavily favored, but I think they've got a really good shot of coming out of that sectional. And Indian Creek might be a little bit of a wild card over there that they may be able to come out as well. And then, if you're able to get past that, then then it circles back to possibly another PAC school. So we like seeing some different teams and different opponents, and even though it's a little spread out, that's just the way it comes out. And so when it comes tournament time, we don't get caught up in too much other than our mantra tournament time is 1 game, 1 point, 1 time, and that's all we're trying to do. And whoever we play, we play. We don't care if it's ugly, pretty, doesn't matter. Just advance and figure out how to advance, and then try to get the next one.
Yeah, and as we both know, it's a one and done at this point of the season, and we fully don't expect the Southwood Raiders to be one and done.
Well, we sure hope not. Like I said, North Harrison, they are a very good team, and it's going to be a great challenge. We're looking forward to it, and we're going to prepare as well as we can, and at that point, we let the chips fall where they may. I know our kids will compete. I know they'll play hard. I know they've invested for a long time, for this time of year and not just this week. And so, that's all we can do, and we'll go out and hope for the best.
And speaking of the team, the coaches are a very important part of the team, and we've talked to Brad Ohanian, we've talked to Ross Booth, we've talked to Steve Rust. We know everyone, and if they're not living under a rock, know about Steve Winkler.
Yep.
Who are some of the other coaches we haven't mentioned?
Well, like you said, Coach Wink's our defensive coordinator. He coaches linebackers, and he coaches the offensive line. Like I said, Brad Ohanian is our offensive coordinator, running backs DB coach. Ross Booth is our co-defensive coordinator. He does a lot of work there with our defense, and he coaches outside linebackers and quarterbacks. And then you've got Steve Rust, who coaches our safeties, split ends, and special teams, and he's our JV offensive guy. And then you've got Kyle Lotharp, who he's been around. This is the second year he's been around. He does a lot for us. He's an O-line guy, does a lot with our technology, and he's also our strength and conditioning coach at school. Does just a great job with that. Then you've got Terry Jones Pick. He works with basically offensive line, defensive line, and does our stats. And Riley Sweppy, Chad Wortman, they both coach O-line, D-line. Mitchell Mundy works with our freshmen. James Hope works with our freshmen. And we've really got a tremendous staff. I mean, I can't state that enough, how important that is, to have a group where we've all worked together for a long time. We got a lot of guys that love Raider football passionately. They all play their roles. It's a great team, so to speak. And and I can't overvalue what those guys do for our program.
And and the names you just mentioned, coaches, a lot of those played as Raiders.
Yeah, pretty much outside of just a small handful of them, they did. And, and it's pretty awesome when you see guys like that come back, and I look at our middle school staff, Jason Songer, Donnie Kramer, Quinn Barnett, Jaden Culbertson, those guys, all Raiders. Luke Long, he spent some time down there this year, another Raider. I mean, a lot of guys who have played, been just intricately valuable in our program, and like I said, they just love, have a passion for Southridge Raider football, and we're blessed from that perspective.
Well, Coach, good luck, and go beat North Harrison.
All right, thank you. We appreciate it.
And you've been listening to the Scott Buening Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Grossman Communications. We'll see you next week.
You have been listening to the Scott Buening Show. Join us every week to learn more about Southridge Raider football. This week's show has been brought to you by Milligan Communications, Street Dreams, and the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Grossmer Communications. See you next week.